My name is Kimera, and I'm a musician, a singer, songwriter, a couple of things. And on this project, I got to rally the troop together to put it together.
My name is Simeon Lakuch.
My name is Baguma David, aka Spectrum David.
My name is Coulten.K. I'm a cinematographer and filmmaker. I was the DOP of Churchwick.
I was a music producer on this project and mixing engineer and mastering engineer.
I was a stylist and makeup artist on this project.
In this particular scenario, I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, but my why is three things: is people, purpose, progress. I love to help people connect with their purpose so they can experience the progress that they need to. And in that process, I love to inspire, to challenge and equip people. One of the ways I do that is through training, through coaching, so executive coaching. But in this particular scenario, I love to do it through music, so through song, through visual storytelling, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, my work generally, I make music, produce music, I do mixing, I do a little bit of mastering, I do audio production, recording, live sets, and recording anything really, audio as well. And recently, maybe about 1.5 years ago, I started venturing into the film side of audio production. And I think I really find so much satisfaction and fulfillment from doing that.
Well, what I do is more of film photography and music videos mostly lately is what I've done. I've worked on a couple of projects. For the past 3 years, I've had a great journey and it's really awesome.
Generally, I'm a creative director and I work in public relations also. So I work on projects from film to music videos to ads to concerts and things like that. So entertainment is my niche.
Wake up, you're too impressionable, church. Wake up, can't believe everything you hear. Demons prophesy, that's the truth.
So this particular song is called Church Wake Up, and it's amazing how far it has come. I wrote this song possibly about 12 years ago, 12 years before the video. And the first time we performed it was about maybe 10 years ago. So this is way back. We just did it once on stage and then it just stayed there.
You're too impressionable, church. Wake up, can't believe everything you hear. Demons prophesy, that's the truth. Don't reject it. Open up.
How I got into this project, a while before Kimera reached out, I actually reached out. So I told Kimera, hey Kimera, I've been wanting to work with you for a while.
And I knew at some point we'd need to perhaps do the studio work and so on. So a year or two before this, I had an idea. Like I had the song and then David Baguma, David Spectrum, came to mind and I thought strongly, we'd never worked together. I know he had mentioned at some point, hey, in case anything happens, if you'd like to do some work together, I'm open.
He was this distant person, like someone like you see from far. You know, he's a celebrity, you can't call him, you can't. But I was lucky enough to have his number. So he said, yeah, we should. Then time passed. So this one day, it's just a normal day, he reaches out, saying, hey, David, there's this project, I've been thinking about it and I think he would be the right person to take it on. I was excited and I didn't know what to expect because this is Kimera we are talking about. So we created a schedule and met, and that's how I got onto this project.
This seemed like a perfect time because I'd listened to some of his work, but especially interacting with him and just sensing there's a freshness to him, an openness to try different things. At the time he had not done a lot of work, but from the little work that you'd hear a certain sense of like there's a freshness and an openness to try different things.
Yeah, so when we met, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. So I asked him to go through the song. What does this song sound like? And I realized, okay, the song has no verses, no choruses, no different keys, different tempos. and my head started spinning.
And when I sang the song for him, he looked at me like, and I'm like, so I'm there preaching to him. I'm like, yeah, in fact, I believe you're the person for the job for this kind of song. I just kept seeing this look of, yeah.
Yeah, so we just started from the beginning, trying to see how to formulate the song, trying to see where to put the elements of music and what to do with each part. Because each part had a unique sound, a unique way to approach it, and that's how we sort of progressed through the song.
It was a lot of experimentation, so that's how then that evolved. We did the song, it was a whole process, and then now we needed a video. So we released the song of an EP called Pray, and we needed to do a visual, but I had no idea. I just knew it's a powerful song, it's a powerful message. Even now it's very relevant, but I just needed to be a strong visual, but I did not know. And through that process, I interacted with Andrew Amanyire, who's a choreographer with Play Dance. And he had listened to the song. He's like, yo, I listened to the song. I have some ideas. And honestly, at the time, all I could tell him was like, I know it needs to be a powerful visual, but I have no idea. Long story short, a year later, they did a whole choreo thing. Way ahead of me, and the first time I was seeing it was on the day they were performing it at church, as a Watoto church, as part of the service. And I was like, yo, these guys went all out on this. And that's when the idea I knew then, like, okay, so it's this is the visual, and then now how do we add drama to it? And it needs to really come alive, because it's not like a performance like song. It's not like that kind of, it's very strong message. And I know there's the voice of the devil, and there's the voice of an angel, Holy Spirit, and it's like this whole back and forth. It needed to be epic, and that's when it clicked, like, okay, so we have the storytelling aspect of what even better than to do it through dance. So it's not typical, it's body expression and all that, and add this opera dramatized type thing. And then so we had the producer, we had Coulten. Of course, no one else is doing this apart from Coulten. At the time, I'm like, the one person, Coulten, has to do this.
So Kimera reached out to me, I think a year ago. It's about a year ago that Kimera reached out to me, and he sent me the first, I think it's a demo for Church Wake Up. And when I listened to it, I kind of felt like this is not a music video type of song. I thought it would either be a movie or an animation thing. So I kind of all the songs he kept sending for me, I always ignored Church Wake Up, and I would put it like aside. I would not say anything about it. I would like build ideas for other songs, and I would push that one on. And I think one day I'm scrolling on YouTube, and I realized he had released Church Wake Up already, and I listened to it again, and it sounded different from the first draft that I actually got to listen to. So I reach out to him again, and he sends me the final audio. And when I listen to it, in the headphones, it sounds so rich.
I want to do a lot more visual storytelling. As a writer, I think story. And even in my music, you hear that, for those who have followed my Kimera music for a while. But I realized there's an opportunity in bringing these stories to life. So I want to blur the lines between music and video. It needs to, I don't want us to do a video because we have a song. I want it to feel like this story. In fact, the video should be so powerful, you forget that it was just a song. So that then the message really becomes elevated, and it really grabs you and says what it needs to say. Not video because the world is visual now, we need to do a video. No, that's not enough reason to tell these stories like this. So the message I typically am going for is strong, and I want to do a lot more. So someone should see that video and feel like, was this like a movie, or what's happening here? And every time I get that response, I'm like, yes, that's the desire. So that it grabs you.
We have a WhatsApp group. He puts the dancers in the group. He gets a few other guys into the group, the makeup artist, the choreographer, and the set design. And everyone starts sharing their ideas. Everyone's sending in screenshots from Pinterest, screenshots from YouTube, anywhere. We're thinking of costumes, and when they started sending in the warrior fits and all that, I was like, okay, this is going to work.
At the time that he reached out, there was not much I knew about, the creative vision, but I did know the song, and I already had like ideas of like what the song would look like and how the song would sound, and rather what the visuals for the song would be, because I already knew how the song sounded. And I mean, it's a very interesting song because it sounds theatrical, and I have roots in musical theater. So my brain, really traveled, and I was seeing all these, kind of dramatic elements to it. And thankfully, when I had the concept and had like where we're going with it, I was like, this is like similar to what I was thinking, like the theatrical vibe and the sort of dramatic element of the song. Yeah.
We were really, on the sound side, doing the song, we were just trying stuff. So at some point we were just sharing clips of, I had a snake, let me send you an audio, literally, I'm sending him snake ideas of like this. It's sort of like a snake audition. It's like, I kid you not, at some point we are checking on like this roto, then this roto, like, okay, now let me find another one. And then the slithering, because it's a battle between light and darkness. It's truth and the opposite. So the devil had to have a slither thing, like it needed to be very creepy and very, so how do we get that? So that was a challenge, but it was also fun because none of us knew what we were going to get in the end. We just knew, let's try stuff. At some point, David Spectrum had a Chinese gong thing, like where it does like, I don't know, in the end we probably dropped it. And so everything, it was really a journey of faith, because we kind of, basically it's a thing of, we will know the thing has arrived when it arrives, but we can't say for now, let's keep moving.
I had to forget the approach of, this is the key, this verse has these same chords, so every part had to be unique in some way. The other thing that was different is that the music or the sound had to represent the message directly. So when you listen to the song, you can hear snakes, you can hear rattles, you can hear silence, you can hear different things. And those had to sort of come into the song so that every sound and every thing chosen, every small effect chosen was directly representing the message that was being put across. And also the other thing is that song had to make sense to me first before I actually started working on it. So I remember I always ask for lyrics. When I'm working on projects, I always ask for lyrics. So I asked Sam for the lyrics, and I looked through these lyrics, and there was a verse there, 1 John chapter 4.
Because you have never read 1 John chapter 4. Now blindfolded you were led into the pits of hell.
So I went and read 1 John chapter 4. And it's talking about how to test the spirits. So I sort of understood what this song was about. And so I had to make the lies represented in a song in a sonic way, but also the truth represented in the song in a very strong and like sure, like truth. How do I affirm the truth? Through sound.
There's a lot of sound design in the song. There's a lot of detail. And to me, I felt like dancing would not pull it off so well until when I see the choreo. He sends me a link and you see the guys that are doing the dance. Oh, actually, this can work.
The interesting part was for me the idea that you're hearing quote-unquote the devil speak, and then you turn around and it's like church wake up. When you hear a song church wake up, you don't exactly imagine at some point that the devil has a perspective in that song. So that was really interesting to me, and I think playing on that like the that characterization was really interesting to me, and it felt really intentional but different, and I liked that.
So if I simply come up to you, say you need to read the word, you need to spend time in the day to communicate with the Father.
Because the song already like was fuel for imagination and fuel for like in creative interpretation. After hearing the concept and hearing the vibe we're going for, you see these pictures of shots that the director is thinking of going with. It leaves the opportunity to bring in elements from different things. You can bring in elements from biblical times, you can bring in elements from very modern times, you can bring in African elements, you can mix all these things together and still manage to express, what the vision of the song is. So for me, that was in like what some people would call tribal makeup, because the concept of the song was very direct but also very spiritual. Imagine Africans, but like in the time of Jesus. Like, what is that element? What is that mix? You have these Arab elements in terms of costume, where it's like it's a mix of Indian, but then still what Israelites used to wear. So you're capturing the flowiness, you're capturing the layered clothing, but also you're trying to make it modern because the message is very relevant today. And that's where the costuming came in, working with Veronica Buera, who had the brilliant mind, and working together with her even to bring in the tribal makeup, to bring in the element of this spirituality.
I think the first time I saw the costume they had got for me as like the devil character, I was like, yo. It was like, I don't know, I am like, yo, I don't know where Vero got that thing from, but she had a whole, like even with the hoodie, I think Amanyire even had like a face mask thing. It was like, eish, okay, so this is really happening. And also when I turned into the studio space that Coulten had chosen, where we're going to shoot in, like everyone has arrived, guys are doing their rehearsals, just seeing the space was like, okay, it's sort of like the first time, okay, in my mind, first time walking into the kitchen, and then you're like, okay, so this, like, because everything else before has been WhatsApp groups and sharing inspirations, ideas, what, but yeah, that was a moment.
Basically, the choreography is also telling a story. So my imagination was just telling me to capture the details of whatever they are doing and try to play around with the movements. Because if you watch the video, especially midway the song towards the end, there's a lot of movement. I actually had to go handheld. I took the camera off the gimbal and I had to shoot handheld because I felt like I had to move properly with the dancers. So just the dancers alone helped me to get my creative side.
Challenges. So I have worked on sets and I've worked on like film and things like that, but this was my first time working on a dance video, a video that was heavily, inspired by dancers and choreography. And I did not realize how hot it was going to be on set and how much the dancers would be sweating. So like after, we finished the intricate tribal makeup designs and whatnot, and after the it's not even the first take, rehearsal of the take, the makeup started like literally melting off because of sweat. Then the question was, okay, how do you troubleshoot? How do we, because like in between takes, you can't like redo tribal makeup. It's really a complicated like design and it's hard to do it in seconds. And Coulten was on a very strict time schedule and he was like, okay, we're moving. And I'm like, but wait. So that was a challenge for me, but it was a good challenge because, you pivot. So we started using like gems that you could stick on the face that won't really fall off and still be able to achieve those designs for sweat.
So usually when I'm shooting, I like to view from the monitor, the bigger monitor besides the tiny screen on the camera. So when I'm seeing it, I'm already imagining how everything is going to look. So Spectrum talked about a shot where there's like some sort of slither, the snake sound, and everyone's fingers are like around some in the middle. They're like, that's one of the shots that I actually did that take like 10 times. I kept telling them, let's do it again, because I felt like I had to do something more on that one, because to me it's like my golden shot.
The key moment was when Nicholas Grace sent his files back. So I had tried to put sounds to this thing, onto this song. I tried to flesh it out with different sounds, but I felt like I had hit a ceiling. So I sent this song to Nicholas, and he gave me like 50 stems. Gave me like 50 stems. I imported them into a project, and when I started balancing the sounds, I sort of got to this light bulb moment, like this is actually happening. This song is actually coming together. And immediately I could tell and I could see clearly what it's going to turn out like.
I receive a word and call it prophecy, saturated with emotion. Yes, you will believe.
Church Wake Up, as the song speaks of our need to be vigilant. Now when we say church, I'm a Christian, so it's not a tell them song. It's not a let them know they're going astray song. No, it's us. We are the church. And the message is the same message that Paul was writing to the churches when he was saying, you know, the devil is doing work as soon as we leave, the devil is going to try to come into the church through false prophets and all of that, and they're going to be wolves in sheep's clothing that are going to try to put the church apart. A few years back, maybe 10, 15 years back, we were dealing with the same situation in Kampala, Uganda here. But it's also not just a Kampala, Uganda situation. You realize it's global. As long as the church exists, we have Jesus, who is our Savior and Redeemer. We also have a real enemy, and he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And we have to know that, because there's also another verse which says, while they slept, the enemy came to sow in tares. So we have to be spiritually vigilant and not listen to our flesh and our feelings and everything that we just want to do, because the times are changing. We have to stay alert and realize that the enemy uses those same things to try to get in and steal us away from the truth of what we have believed as our faith. So it's just a cautionary song, and I'm glad that we're able to depict it. I hope that's the message that people get, and it seems to be the case, and we're really grateful for that. I just want to say a big thank you to all the creatives behind this project. Like it's a 3-4 minute maybe song. It took a lot, so a big thank you. I can't finish all the names here, but of course Coulten as a director, Simeon, Andrew as a choreographer. I'm amazed at the stuff that Clay Dance is doing, and we have the same desire into telling strong, powerful stories, and I want to see a lot more collaboration across specific musicians, storytellers like that. Okay, how do we incorporate what we're doing? How do we engage dancers on it? And the first time we did that, where the seed of the idea came, was the year before, where we did a video called Pray, where we had this one dancer and we needed her to do like a ballet type situation, and it came through really well. So I guess that helped us, give us confidence for now let's get a whole group. But basically us working together, from script writers to music musicians, singers, songwriters, to dancers, to set designers, to like coming together and bringing all our minds around one theme. I think it will tell such a powerful story for as Christians, but even beyond the walls of our churches, to say there's something powerful that we can do here.
3, 1, 2, 3, let's break up!